You know, it's not every day the title of a video alone gives me so much I want to address, but here we are. Video game music is better than modern music by Sester360. Now, first off, modern music isn't a term that's actually used by historians or scholars of music. At least, not in the same way it's used in average conversation. When the term modern music is used in an academic context, it's to differentiate it from classical music, which is more a distinction of genre than it is era. There was also the modern period in music history, which took place between 1890 and 1945. But again, that's totally unrelated from the music of today. Now, in the description, Sester says that he is specifically referencing anything after the year 2018 that's either pop, metal, funk, or electronic. But that's incredibly arbitrary, even ignoring you limiting it to certain genres. Why after 2018 specifically? Was there some big change in music that occurred on January 1st, 2019 that caused most of it to be bad? Well, no, I know you don't think that's the case, because you also admit there's good modern music in the description. I also question what exactly you mean by video game music. Just all of it? I was originally going to do a joke where I say I only listen to real music and then play some really well-known terrible video game music. However, I had way too many ideas for what the punchline of said joke could be, so scrolling on screen are all the games I considered. I also want to point out how it's kind of nonsensical to totally separate modern music from video game music just in general. Remember, this person defined modern music as anything after the year 2018 that's either pop, metal, funk, or electronic. However, there are video game soundtracks which fall into that category. IGN specifically has an article on 10 video games they believe made great use of pop music. One of the games mentioned is Borderlands 3. Given Borderlands 3 came out in 2019, its soundtrack meets all the requirements you listed for modern music, despite it also being video game music. Does this mean the soundtrack to Borderlands 3 is better than itself? But let's get on to the video itself, and I'll begin by pointing out what I believe to be the biggest issue. A large chunk of it is Sester not actually saying anything. You see these little chapter marks that he put in the description of his video? Every chapter from Mario Kart Wii until honorable mentions is primarily made up of Sester playing video game music, with very brief introductions to each in between. He goes into basically no detail about why he likes said music, he just mostly has us listen to it. 6 minutes and 22 seconds of this 12-minute, 19-second video is primarily made up of just us listening to music he likes. That's over half of the video! I want to stress how little I'm making this up. Here's every transition he does in between songs.
First up, I'm talking about Mario Kart Wii. I mean, who doesn't know this masterpiece of a game? And while the objective of the game is to finish the race in first, the music team didn't have to go this hard. Just listen.
Next up is the Halo series. And for this, I'm focusing on Halo Reach, as that game has the best soundtrack in my opinion. Fight me all you want, I'm just right. It's nice to listen to Halo music, especially from one of the most goated games in the series. And also a game where you don't play as Master Chief. Next is Sonic Unleashed. And while most people don't like the game because of the werehog and how it just changed the game completely, so many people agree it has one of the best soundtracks ever made. Minecraft. That's it. Just Minecraft. And now time for some honourable mentions.
I want to stress that I am not accusing him of saying anything wrong so much as I'm accusing him of not actually saying anything. Why does he like this music? To be blunt, I have no idea. I personally think it sounds good, don't get me wrong. But I am left totally in the dark as to why he thinks it sounds good. This also leads to an important question as to what the general thesis of the video even is. I thought he was arguing that video game music as a whole is better than modern music, and even ignoring how vaguely defined both those concepts are, the focus on specific examples of video game music makes it seem like he's arguing less that the whole medium is better, and more that he thinks the specific examples he put forward are superior to modern music. Nowhere in the video does he talk about general trends he notices in video game music that don't apply to modern music, nor does he really make any attempt to build video game music up outside of going, look at how cool this song is before playing a song. But what are his critiques of modern music, I hear you ask? Well, let's play those.
Some listeners just find the recent trends and styles less appealing than those from the past. That being me.
Which trends specifically, and why do you feel this way? And are you going to explain anything you say at any point in this video?
One piece of criticism directed towards modern music is that people think it's not diverse enough. I mean, look, how many times have you listened to modern music and realised that the styles and sounds are almost identical in many different songs?
First off, I have to notice you calling this just a piece of criticism directed at modern music, which begs the question, by who exactly? Who feels this way, and why do they feel it? As for your rhetorical question, I haven't, because I don't listen to what you call modern music, meaning I'm going to need some examples in order to avoid being left in the dark. And by the way, music sounding like other music isn't a new concept? In 1990, a bunch of people heard Vanilla Ice's song Ice Ice Baby and thought it sounded like Queen's song Under Pressure. These people included Queen's legal team, who then sued Vanilla Ice over it, although he did have a rock-solid defense.
Sampled them from him, but it's not the same bass line. Like it goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding ding ding. That's the way theirs goes. Ours goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding. That little bitty change. It's not the same.
While researching this video, I also came across a Watch Mojo list of the top 20 most infamous rip-off songs ever. The first entry of which is from the 1960s.
Number 20, The Kinks, All Day and All of the Night, versus The Doors, Hello, I Love You. Although The Doors guitarist Robbie Krieger denied that his band copied the chord-driven main riff of the 1964 Kinks track, the Kinks music publishers found that these two singles were just a bit too similar. Turns out, UK courts agreed. So a deal was eventually struck, entitling the Kinks to a large share of Hello I Love You's British royalties. The Doors' song credits remain unchanged, but in 2014, Kinks' lead singer and main songwriter Ray Davies suggested to Rolling Stone that an out-of-court settlement had been reached.
Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game.
Another piece of criticism is the commercialization of music. In today's digital age, it's really easy to just market your piece. And critics believe that people are trying to make their songs more marketable instead of being purely artistic. And to be honest, they're not wrong.
And why aren't they wrong exactly? And what critics believe this? And can you explain your point even slightly? And what are you even talking about?
Also, just another point. How the hell do we go from this
Head on my shoulder, hold me in your arms, baby.
to to this.
Both hands on the back when I tap it, grab it and slap it, Becky a savage.
We didn't go from one to the other. They're totally different songs that came about through entirely different means, have entirely different sounds, and from the looks of it, are entirely different genres. To put it another way, the second one would more than likely exist even if the first one didn't.
Now, let's be honest, technology has made music so much easier, with just the amount of different loops, styles, different instruments to use on technology. It's just made it a whole lot easier. And one of those big points that made it easier is auto-tune. Now, let's be honest as well. All of these big creators you see on your screen right now, they probably wouldn't have made it to the big places if they didn't have auto-tune. Except Taylor Swift. I don't want the Swifties on me. Please stay away. Keep your cooties to yourself.
Okay, I'll admit to not recognizing every singer here. However, I do at least know that several of them don't use auto-tune. Or at the very least, don't owe their careers to it like you say. Beyoncé, for example, does not use auto-tune when singing, albeit she does use it when rapping in order to get a synthetic voice. Taylor Swift has denied using auto-tune for years and has even been seen singing off-pitch in earlier performances, which would be impossible if she was using auto-tune. And Ariana Grande has equally denied any such accusation. You do at least acknowledge she would have a career without auto-tune and can sing. However, her inclusion in the picture you showed makes it clear you believe she does currently use auto-tune, which simply is not the case. Anyway, that's all I want to cover, so final thoughts. Although this video wasn't horrible, its thesis was flimsy to say the least, and it argued for its conclusion rather badly. Good night, and good luck.